when Kathy ordered the towing of our car while my baby was still inside. Her recklessness escalated to a hazardous level. She believed her HOA powers, brashness, and bullying could trump human decency and bull us into compliance. Something she didn't consider was that her reckless act would immediately earn her criminal charges of child endangerment and public humiliation. It started on a sunny morning when my family and I were preparing to leave for a short vacation. My infant was safely fastened into the car seat, a few final things being loaded into the car. Kathy, watching from her usual vantage point, coordinated with HOA enforcers to have the car towed as a demonstration of her defiant authority. She believed her defiant boldness and aggression would elicit obedience without consequence. As the tow truck came and hooked onto the car, fear immediately set in. The defiantness of towing off a car with a vulnerable infant inside was appalling. I raced onto the scene shouting and demanding the car be let go right away. In capturing the moment with cameras, cell phones, and passers-by in the vicinity, Kathy, blinking in her rudeness, was oblivious to the fact that her scheme was being intensely watched. The tow truck driver, following orders at first, hesitated when I arrived and explained in detail the baby inside. The audacious plan aimed at intimidating started crumbling. I instructed the driver to stop immediately, calling 911 to report child endangerment. Kathy's notion that her jurisdiction could override law, decency, and parental rights was proving catastrophically false. Neighbors and passers-by began gathering, seeing the standoff in real time. Kathy attempted to justify her audacity, screaming that she was enforcing HOA laws and that the encounter was legal. Her audacity rested entirely on perceived authority, but reality was undeniable. She had endangered a child. Her audacity, meant to intimidate, had become the source of criminal liability. Law enforcement arrived promptly, assessing the environment and taking testimonies from witnesses. Everything Kathy's impulsive actions were documented. Videos, photographs, eyewitness testimony, and my long, detailed testimony personally. The courage that had before allowed her to bully and intimidate no longer was the ideal evidence needed to prosecute her for responsibility. Kathy continued, bickering, attempting to still control and blame shift, but her courage moves were ineffective against law and evidence. Police officers affirmed that her actions constituted criminal endangerment of a child, harassment, and reckless behavior. Her plan to intimidate with boldness had blown back spectacularly. By mid-afternoon, Kathy was officially charged with serious legal ramifications. Her brazen effort to exercise authority had fallen apart completely, leaving her vulnerable, accountable, and embarrassed. Cedar Pines residents stared in suspension as her formerly respected boldness dissolved upon examination and penalty. Looking back on the episode, the lesson was clear. Audacity, when not tempered with legality, foresight, and moral accountability, is self-destructive. Kathy's careless choice to tow a car with a baby inside had reduced her boldness to a ludicrous act, evidence of criminal intent, promoting accountability and public humiliation. By evening, the community had heard the entire story. Kathy's brashness, once intimidating, had become a cautionary story of wild privilege and the final downfall of brashness when confronted with law, preparation, and evidence. Kathy's employment of brashness to manipulate, intimidate, and dominate had spectacularly disintegrated. Her brashness had endangered a child, initiated criminal proceedings, and broken her authority within the community. The brashness she had relied on so deeply had become her greatest liability, teaching all of us that senseless belligerence has instant and inescapable consequences.